Hey friends, welcome to the Awakening Trail. Today's episode takes us into a fascinating and often misunderstood realm, the fifth dimension, a concept that blurs the lines between science and spirituality. 5D is more than just a buzzword, it's believed to be the next step in human consciousness. Joining us today is someone who has helped thousands understand this shift through powerful teachings, deep insights, and an unwavering commitment to truth. Praveen Bhatiya ji is a speaker, guide, and seeker who's been at the forefront of conversations around the Great Awakening, 5D consciousness, and inner transformation. So, without further ado, let's begin. Today, we are diving into a mysterious and fascinating subject, one that transcends the boundaries of science, spirituality, and consciousness, the fifth dimension, or 5D reality. Our special guest today has enlightened thousands through his teachings and talks on 5D, the Great Awakening, and many other profound topics. It is our true honor to have him with us for this conversation. Praveen Bhatia ji, a warm welcome to the Awakening Trail and namaste.
Namaste. Thank you very much for having me.
Great, great. So, the way I do it with all my guests, I ask the basic question, why don't we begin from the beginning, Praveen ji? Where and how did your spiritual journey begin?
See, it is a very special time. Our whole generation, we are living in a very different era. So it motivates the people because the veil which kept us into that darkness, it is getting thinner. And it is started in 1998 because because our solar system is going through a cycle. It is a cyclical nature. Day and night, years, everything is cyclical. Every 12 years, the Kumbh Mela happens because of 12 years, this special constellation. The same way, there is a very big cycle. We cannot say the pinpoint of the. So it is a 36-year of window, this cycle. And this started in 1998. It motivates many people. So I don't know whether it was due to this cyclical nature or it was as from my childhood, I was different. Something was missing in my life. Although I was having everything, health, job, but something was missing. And this was my quest. And it started in 2008. And I meditated first time in 2008. That was my first experience and I got the bliss. And then I realized to experience the bliss, we don't need the material or something. I was in 10 days Vipassana. They were giving very simple food, no TV, no mobile, but I was having bliss. So that motivates me. That was my starting.
Oh, wow. So, since 2008 till 2025, and then there is no way back, right? Or were there any hiccups or challenges in between where when you felt, no, I think I have to give up, I have to stop, or it went on and on?
So every journey, there are ups and downs. I can't say it was so smooth or it was always like this. There were phases and there were challenges. You know, the one word is the material word. There are obligations, family, society, and this spiritual world is altogether different. Moreover, the concept of fifth dimension consciousness, even in the spiritual community, I got challenged. They were not accepting this concept. When I was doing spiritual meditation, Kriya practice, they were saying, okay, he's on the good path. But when I started telling that this is also, we are going to the next level, then people were not ready. So there were some challenges, but it is the part of the journey. It happens to each and every person. I see my journey with the journey of Arjun. What happened to him? He was having challenges. 12 years he
Mhm.
went into the exile and he has to live into the forest. Then 1 year he has to remain in such a way that nobody could recognize him. If they recognize he's Arjun, Agyatwas, then again he has to repeat the same cycle. So because of these challenges, he was able to understand the teaching of Gita. So these
Mhm.
challenges are part of the journey because you are dropping your layers. These layers are the only challenges. And when the layers are one by one, they are going, people think it is a challenge, but I am happy. It happened to me.
So, like everyone says, right, I have also interviewed few people on this channel, and many a times, repeatedly, what I got to know from people on the spiritual journey is that the guru finds the disciple when the disciple is ready, right? So, did that also happen in your case? Like, you came across your own guru or guru fetched you. How did that transition happen, Praveen?
Yeah. I think it happens from the both the sides.
Okay,
Because if you are true seeker, then you are searching very seriously. And the guru is also searching because the guru is free, but only one burden he is having. That is called burden of truth. He has realized some truth, but if he could not deliver it to the next generation, then it is half the knowledge. Right? So guru is also searching, and it happens very beautifully. It's a marriage from both partner. They were looking, I was looking, and the guru was looking. So I think it happens on the both way.
I see. So you spoke sometime back about your family, right? So how was the family support in this entire journey? Because I'm seeing that it is almost a journey of more than a decade now. What role your family played, and were they supportive and understanding from the start? Are they also on the same journey as you?
So because they knew that I am little different, so they take it for granted that I am little different.
Yeah,
But
okay.
when I become really serious, then there were some, they were not happy. When I was doing just I learned a technique and I was practicing at home, then they say, okay, he's doing very good. But when I become more active, when I started seeing this word as a matrix, not real, then there were challenges. But I would put it differently. This word is our reflection. This word is just a mirror. I was I was not confident, and I was having in my doubts in me. So they were reflecting. They were reciprocating. As I got, now I am the correct, now they change. So they have changed now. So I believe this was the challenge, but it was coming from me, not they. They
Okay.
were just reflecting. But these were my challenges, not they were. They are the same.
Got it. Got it. So I think this is a very important point, right? Because if we know what you're trying to say here, the point that you are trying to make here, that, as far as I have inhibitions, or as far as I feel that, somebody is not liking me, somebody is disapproving me, and all those negative thoughts, the moment I have the key in my hand, the world doesn't have to change. Something inside in you changes, and everything, starts propagating in that language, right? So, if you could give more examples, because it will benefit many, right? One small examples in their life, or how did you change the perspective of you looking at certain things, and that change the entire narrative?
Yeah. Yeah, it is very important that people should understand because this realization helped me a lot. So there was a phase when I become very serious into my spirituality. Then I gave up my job and there were no means of earning and so on. Then my kids were small and I was having a feel of guilt. I am not doing my responsibilities. And the society they were telling me if you wanted to have this phase, then you should not have married. You are married, you are having kids, you should take responsibility. And they were
Mm-hmm.
correct up to some extent, but my desires were some different. And because of my that I am not good, they were reflecting. They were reflecting
Mm-hmm.
because I was thinking I am not fulfilling my obligations. It is my duty. And the whole Gita is about duties. There, in the second chapter, Bhagavan told Arjun that you should do your duties. But what are duties? So the society
Yeah.
say your duty is the family. Whereas I think that the real teaching is that your duty is to become
Mm-hmm.
free from this Maya. So, and there was a conflict. And this conflict happens to each and every seekers. So they were reflecting me because I was feeling I am not doing my responsibilities. But when I realized that what we are doing together, And when we are creating a new word with a new consciousness, they all are part of it. So my family is also part of it. The new word, they all are part of it. Then I became so free. And when I became free, they started reflecting this same vision, which I am having right now. So now there is no conflict. And it
How
would
you
help each and every seeker if they understand the word is their reflection.
the world is their reflection is what you're saying, right? So what you're trying to say is like for example, if I keep thinking negatively about anything, like one single approach or overall in life, right? Every incident that will come to my life are going to be negative. Is that how you are trying to put it? Or if you could give one or two more examples, then I
Yeah,
think it will be
exactly
very
same way
easy.
what you said. What you
Yeah,
said is
okay.
exactly I wanted to convey. See, very simple example. I give example which everybody knows so that they can confirm. So see, take the example of Karna. Karna was born and then he said, why my mother left me? I am a victim. Because of this victimhood, because of his thinking, the Kabir was also abandoned by his mother. But he was not having this feeling, Kabir Das ji. And the
Yeah.
Karna, but he was having this feeling and this victimhood, whole life he remained in this victim, whole life. My guru has not accepted, my guru has given me the knowledge, but he gave me the curse. Whenever I needed, I will forget it, and so on. Even on the time of death, he was having this victim mentality. Yesterday I could kill Arjun, but I could not, I didn't, because of the sun
Hmm.
was setting down and there was rule. I followed all the rules. Now I am out of my chariot, I am without weapons, and the god is on their side, and even he could not stop Arjun that it is bad thing, they are violating the rules. With he died with that mentality. So what he started as on his birth, he was doing the whole life. If we understand it, that the world is our projection, the world is not real, it is Maya. We have told it is Maya, but what does it mean? That it looks real like a dream, but it is not real. It is projecting from inside. When there is a victim, the world will reflect. If you are having that I am not fulfilling my obligation, world will reflect. If you are having gratitude, world will reflect. Most of the people who believe they are, for example, ladies, you are talking that my mother-in-law is not accepting me because they have not accepted themselves. I'm not getting love from my partner because they are not loving themselves. And the society and the structure are such very strong structure, they put people into the victim mentality or in guilt or inferiority. Because of this, the word projects. It
Wow.
looks, when we say you should love yourself, then people believe, oh, it is very egoistic. It is not egoistic. If you love yourself, the world will love you.
It is such a simple message, but yet it is so powerful, Praveenji. And the moment I think I have said this in one of the podcasts too, which is not yet published, that once everything in here is fixed, the entire world around you is fixed automatically. So I think what you said is really important for all, not just for the ladies. I think it is for important for everyone to
For
love
everyone.
yourself, and then you see how the world around you changes, right? So and it is so practical. It is not going to cost you much. It is not going to, you don't have to maybe climb a mountain, nothing. You just have to love yourself and see the change, right? So important and so profound. I think now I would like to ask you a question about fifth dimension. Maybe, I mean, I'm getting straight to the point now. We have got to know you. You've given a simple message that start loving yourself and see the change. So, what is 5D, Praveenji? I mean, please explain it as in a simple way because there are many who might not know this, right? So, what is 5D?
Yeah. See, very simple. This word is based on separation. We have heard this word is based on duality. There is a pair of two, good, bad, and all these things in the pair of two. Why there are two? Why there are good and bad? Why there are Deva and Asur? Because we wanted to experience something. We want to experience opposite of us. So if we want to experience what is fear, then we want then there must be something who could create the fear, opposite of us. That is separation. The world we are living, it is based on separation. There are two, I and others. And I have to protect myself. This is the conditioning because of the society, because we have to experience. Now, the next dimension is that we are going into oneness. There is no separation. All is one. This is the dream of one. So the journey is from mind. Mind is in survival mode. Mind want to protect ourselves. That is, we say ego. Ego want to protect, and heart opens. Heart accommodate. So the journey from third dimension to fifth dimension, in simple word, it is the oneness. It is the opening of heart.
Okay. Okay. So, I mean, when we are saying that, our Earth is shifting from third dimension to fifth dimension, is it something that is happening at a physical level? You already said that, it is about, opening of heart, taking care of the mind. But what exactly will happen, right? Who are we is my first question. And why have we chosen, to experience this duality? So maybe if you
Yeah,
can tell us more about it.
yeah. See, suppose you are God. It is you. It
Mm-hmm.
is not suppose, but I say imagine, because we
Mm-hmm.
are so far away what we really are. But so imagine you are God. Then you are full power. Nothing is missing. You thing happens. You can create universe and whatever you want. Then you are not fear. You don't know what is a misery. You don't know what is to become sick. What is to become handicapped. What
Mm-hmm.
is without love. So you want to have an experience, but how? It is impossible because you are God. Then you create an artificial simulation. For example, you want to learn how to fly a aeroplane, but you cannot because you cannot afford. Suppose then you make a simulation. The simulations are available. You went into that simulation. But if you went into the simulation and you know, or if you remember that you are God, that you cannot experience it because immediately simulation will end. If your flight simulation, suppose you are flying and there is a comet turmoils or bad weather, and immediately you change it, then you cannot experience. To have a complete experience, we put so many layers of forgetfulness. Even then, it was impossible for a God. Then they make so many, we limited ourselves. Our neuron capacity is reduced to 3%. Our DNA is reduced to 10%. And then complete forgetfulness we are experiencing, which is not true. It is like a simulation. And fifth dimension, in other words, we say, some people say it is like a awakening because we are sleeping. Sleeping and forgetfulness, these are the same thing to express one thing in different way. Some say we are sleeping, other words we say we are into a simulation or we are into complete forgetfulness. And when we are awaking, that is the fifth dimension or that is the awakening. Earlier,
Okay.
individual people could awaken, but now a mass awakening is happening because our solar system is going through that cycle. Thus, light is coming directly to us. So that's why it's awakening, and it is called the Great Awakening. The consciousness is shifting in such a way that we are creating almost a new world without war, without diseases. We don't need even doctor, and there will be an abundance.
Wow.
Abundance for all.
I have a question now, right? So not many would know that there is this consciousness shift that is taking place, right? Many of them they are not prepared for it. So what will happen to those?
See, everyone has two choice because in universe there is a law of free will. Why we are into
Mm-hmm.
that simulation? We have just discussed that because we want to experience something, so we put into complete forgetfulness. Those who still want to enjoy the same forgetfulness, but that they will not happen into this earth because the field will change here. Right now, our earth is a field which provide the facility to experience it. It will change drastically. Those who are not ready, they may some other, the universe is infinite, they may be born in some other places. That is one possibility. But the possibility is the whole earth can awaken. Maybe some other time it is like a river. It is flowing. It has reached to a certain point. Now there are only two ways. One, ascending. Second is very dangerous. Second is transhumanism. That means in this dream or in this simulation is going to be very dangerous. So everyone has to decide right now. So those who are into the front part of river, you can feel. But your question is, you when you see backward, many of us are not have not heard this word. What will happen to
Yeah,
them? When the river will come, when they will come to this point, they will decide for themselves.
got it. So, which means everybody is going to shift their consciousness or make that shift to 5D today or tomorrow. It's just a matter of time. When they are awakened from inside, they will be there. Is that how we can put it?
Yes, it is exactly because every one day each and every person will awake. How long people can sleep?
Absolutely.
Point, I would like to say some more thing. Please understand the risk of transhumanism. If you don't exercise your uh, will right now, you will be into a dream, and the dream will be a very longer period. You will be trapped into that dream.
So, what one can do, Praveenji, to break, to come out of this dream? Some simple steps. One, yes, once they are aware, of course, they will make the shift. But what one can do, or is it possible for people who are the front runners to make the others, join the race? How we can,
Yeah,
make it happen?
yeah. See, the everyone will come for this word, but they are not sure. They say it may be an imagination. In sadiyon se kabhi nahi hua, so it never happened. How
Hmm.
could it happen? So when the front runner will create something, other people can see. Then they can join. But what they could do, they should realize this word is created out of their energy, out of their consciousness. As we discussed earlier, that if I am feeling insecure, what will show me? So
Hmm.
from inside, they don't give energy to this fake word. This is not real, it is a simulation, but it is sustained with their own energy. They are giving energies, they are into their loop. In this word, we believe time is linear, past tense, current running moment, and future. Past, the time is not linear. Time is in this circular. People are into a loop. They are coming the same point, same point, same point, many lives. So, and even it becomes a spiral because the next time the same situation looks bigger, more difficult because they are not learning, because they are coming the same point and not learning. Now, if they understand it, then they don't give energy to it. Very simple practice. They do practice no resistance, no justification. What is resistance or justification? Like the example of Kant, he was resisting what is happening to him. Because he is resisting, he is creating his misery. If they don't resist, if they don't give energy to this matrix, to this fake matrix, to this system, then they will become free.
Can you enlighten all of us you keep repeatedly saying about the fake metrics. I'm asking you this question in the interest of people, who will be listening to this concept for the first time. First of all, what is matrix and what is fake metrics? A follow-up question to that.
Yeah. See the simple matrix or the fake matrix. There is a real world, real earth, which she is having abundance. Even on this earth, if you go to the forest and you see the abundance, the no monkey will eat the complete fruit. They take some and then have to
Yeah,
throw it because
yeah,
they know there is an abundance. It is our nature. But in this fake matrix, to experience the misery or the everything is less, we have created. So this is fake. It is the copy of the original, like the flight simulation. It is the
yeah.
copy, exactly same is the how you are operating the real aeroplane. It is almost same, but it is not real. So that's why it is called fake matrix. It is not real, it is copy. And when we are awakened of this team, when we go out of this veil of forgetfulness, then there is real. Is
I
it clear?
see.
Does it make sense?
Yeah, yeah, it does. It does. It does make sense. So, so in this journey or in this transition, are there any guiding forces or higher forces, who are involved also to help us awaken and help us know, okay, boss, you have been sleeping or you know where you belong to. So, are there any guiding forces, Praveen?
Yeah. So first, I would, because it's a very important question. So let us discuss it
Okay,
into little details.
sure.
What are not helping us? Any avatar will not help. Any savior will not help. Any galactic federation of light or any galactic federation of word will not help. Only you can help yourself. So there is a lot of manipulation in the name of all these things. That someone is fighting for us because the earth was in a simulation, and then simulation is controlled by dark forces and someone is removing the dark forces. It will not happen. You have created this simulation, you will awake, only you can liberate yourself. So if you keep on waiting, then of a savior or an avatar, it will never happen. But if you think, then there is a lot of help. The help is coming in many forms. Basically, one concept which is not very popular in basically in Indian community, that is multidimensional. We are multidimensional. If you go into bed in the night, you are in your bed, whereas you create another world where you are dreaming. You are
Hmm.
experiencing complete new world. Whatever you cannot do in this day life, for example, there is a gravitational force, we cannot fly. But in the dream, many people have an experience of flying, very lightness.
Yeah.
It has happened. Same way, we are into this world, which is a dream because we came into simulation to experience something. But who is dreaming? He is helping us, he is guiding us. And it is so beautiful. A little bit, if the consciousness raises, frequency raises, then you can come into the frequency of that who is dreaming. He is guiding, and then it is a big help.
Such a powerful message,
Some say
Praveen
it is
ji.
higher self, whatever name you want to say, it is helping us.
Yeah. I mean, it is so important, right? It is so important to know that, like, forget about this 5D shift for a moment, right? Let's just assume that, in general life, if we know that the power is with us, within us, we can change so much, right? The misery is gone, the pain is gone. You see everything that around you positively, like because you know that the power is within you. You're not dependent on someone else, right? So it is also a very big motivation, right? Once one understand that the self is so powerful, then we stop that journey outwards. The inward journey begins, right? So thank you so much, Praveen ji. I think I'm getting a sense now that the way I think, the way I project, I think I should change that. All of us, I think we have to change. Somewhere, in one of your YouTube videos, I came across you talking about Dr. Neruda's interview, and you requested all of us, right? Whoever was listening to that video, to spend some time to read, to listen, to him. And it was quite startling, how can we know if the information shared by him is actually true? I literally got scared, goosebumps, when I was going through that interview. So maybe if you could tell little bit about the interview and why it is important and what one should learn from it.
So there were 5 interviews which was given in 1998. 4 were published immediately, and one interview, that a fifth interview, they said it should be published whenever the consciousness is ready. Understand that the consciousness was not ready even in 1998, that this small interview of 62 pages only could be published. There must be very hard reactions. So it was published 16 years later in 2014. Why I recommend to this interview, there is a lot of manipulation in the name of religion. It is our conditioning. As a child, up to the age of 7, they are having into alpha mode. Alpha means mind activities is so less that everything there is no filter. After that, we are having our ego, and then we filter. These 7 years of conditioning from a child from that background where he is born and brought up, it makes a very strong uh, wall. So, and this interview, 62 pages of interview, people start seeing something very differently. As you mentioned, you were even scared or something like this. Sometimes there is, even you feel that there is a no, um, जमीन के नीचे पाँव के नीचे से जमीन खिसक जाती है, how to say in English.
Yeah,
So we
yeah, yeah.
become so helpless that what happened to just pay whatever we have, whole life we have, that was our foundation. The foundation is gone.
Mm.
So, but after that, people start seeing world in the light of that interview. Some people in India criticizes that it is a Western philosophy. Why we should trust that Western philosophy? We are having so much scriptures and so on. You see the small manipulation, for example, in Kriya practices, we are doing, you are also doing. This was given by Mahavtar Babaji to a householder with the instructions that householders, there a time will come and all of the population should be ready for this consciousness shift, doing all their obligations, living a householder life. They could realize the truth. Lahari Masha, his disciple, was married. He was having 5 kids. Shri Yukteswarji was married. But after, in this lineage, Paramahansa Yoganandaji decided he will not marry. What happened? The whole lineage after that, all are celebrating. It gave
Mm.
a wrong impression that these people who are sitting, only they could realize the truth because they are living a very special life. They are having different food, they are not married, and they are not having sex or something like this. Then it makes our conditioning. It is a manipulation. But after some generation, people will believe only the celibate people could realize the truth. But it is not the fact. So there are so many manipulations, and these 62 pages just give a shock so that people come out of all this manipulation. And then they can see, and I see very common thing. The Bhagwan Krishna told in Gita that this body is just the clothes. The who is inside the body, that remains forever. That is eternal. It was same in the interview that you were the formless, and then they put the space suit, and that become our body. In our story, they said Manu, and there was a flood. They told the same thing that a first version, human 1.0, and that was not perfect. Then they brought a flood to remove all these things and then become the human 2.0. And the what I told earlier, human 3.0, human 3.0. Now
Mhm.
they want to make human little more. In 1.0, it was enslaved. 2.0, little more dangerous. Now 3.0 will be complete slave without free will. So I think this interview can help a lot.
Yeah. Mm. I read somewhere also, or I heard it from someone, right? Like even in in Neruda's interview, it is said that Anunnaki came here, to extract gold from us, right? And that is to extract the gold, they made all of us slave. And then there is also a saying, right? And I don't know which scripture it is, but it is said that in Kali Yuga, you should not possess lot of gold, right? So I am, like, I'm just trying to connect the dots. Maybe this is what they're trying to say, right? So if you possess lot of gold, then in Kali Yuga, you will be having lot of troubles. So what does that have to do with this interview, and what is the logic behind of not possessing too much gold in Kali Yuga, Praveenji? Anything that you would like to say here?
Yeah. First thing, it was not gold, it was gold like substance which was available on the earth.
O- Okay,
And
okay.
gold is a very pure, yeah, it was not gold, it was gold like substance which they were needed at that time. It was long ago.
Oh,
Now it will become little controversial. The gold which we possess, it is
mhm.
not real gold. It is tungsten or a kind of different material which is like gold, but it is not real gold. And these both two elements are having different energies. So nakli,
Okay.
so it is not real gold. That's why if you purchase, maybe it is what are the nanobots or the antenna? If you are tuned, to a different frequency. And this tungsten is tuned to a negative energy, whereas the real gold is connected to the higher energy. So if you possess more, then you are into that
Got it.
danger. One more thing, in our scripture, they told very beautifully Lakshmi, Chanchala, her nature is Chanchal. And his father, Kuber, he want to possess. And the nature of the money is Chanchala like a river. You give to next person, it flows. If anybody starts to stop the flow, they will create trouble for themselves. It is the nature of this universe, but the people don't understand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Sorry.
it is flow. And earlier we told about abundance. Now, in the world, 1% people possess 80% of wealth. What they are doing?
Mm.
They are controlling. So that's why there is misery, there is scarcity. But now it is changing, and the people, because of insecurity in this matrix, nobody could become secure. It's an illusion. But people believe it, if they will possess this kind of gold, they will become secure. So to
Mm.
create the security, they keep too much of possession, and because of that, we are not able to have the abundance. Now it is changing. People know. See, if you know that you will get everywhere, will you carry a burden of baggage on your shoulder? No, it is a burden. But
Absolutely.
you are now people will start realizing that it is available, it is a nature of universe. Then they will give up their possession, they will come into the field, and there will be beautiful world with abundance. One more thing, people misunderstood the word abundance. They believe if they are having 100 million in their account, only then it is abundance. No, abundance mean whenever, whatever you needed, you are provided.
Mm.
That is abundance, and that will happen.
Anything else that you would like to tell us how 5D is going to be? What is, you said that you don't require doctors, there is a lot of abundance. Anything else, I'm bit curious to understand what 5D is going to look like.
Yeah. Supposing we speak in terms of mathematics. So point is no dimension. It's a small point. When we connect too many points, then it becomes a line. It is one dimension. When it's two lines, then it is length and width. Then it is two-dimensional word. Length, width,
Yeah.
height, three-dimensional word. But if a person is in two-dimensional word, for example, this is two dimension, right? In this two dimension, if we say there is a height, this person cannot understand. If there is a ant running on this paper, she cannot understand what they are talking about. There is nothing. So that's why our mind or consciousness has limitation of that we cannot comprehend what is fifth dimension. It is almost impossible. Like for second dimensional being, it is impossible to understand the third dimension. But we cannot imagine a time because time is a construct in third dimensional reality. It is linear. So you think I was born, now I am this age, and people become old. If the time is linear, we become degenerated. If the time
Mm-hmm.
is not linear, what would be the word? Imagine. We cannot comprehend it. In the
Yeah.
fourth dimension, still, so we are into a dream. In your dream, it never started where you were born. It never happened. You just suddenly maybe you are going for an examination, and then you realize, oh, I forget my admit card. Then all settings created at that moment. There is a house, you have to go to house, then probably you may think, oh, I am not having money, where is bus, and so on. But the dream started at one point, you are going for an examination. But all the settings we have created. So the same way, third dimension, we created this. In fourth dimension, you have all variation in your hand. There are multiple variation. Every time you are having multiple variation. And this is the fourth and fifth, where time does not exist. You could create anything, but it cannot be comprehended from this limited mind, which is having only 3% of neurons active right now.
So, when you go in deep meditation, do you actually see what is there in fifth dimension? Is that how it, someone who got to know about fifth dimension, because there are few who have realized it, right? That the earth is shifting, the conscious is shifting. So how did that first person realize that, this is what it is? Did it happen in a meditation, or how did it reveal to that first source or the higher source, Praveenji?
Yeah, it happens basically in the meditations. In meditative state, you realize the timelessness, that the time is
Yeah.
not as we experience in third dimensional reality. And then, like I told, we put a strong layers and layers and layers and
Mhm.
make a small wall so that we could experience completely what we are not. We are full powerful, and here we are experiencing just the opposite of that. And to create that, we have created too many layers. Now, in this phase, these veils are removing. So, in this matrix, in this wall, there are many small holes. Some people could see beyond the holes and they tell how beautiful this world is. Moreover, this wall has gone, this veil has gone. I tell you, this veil has gone for some people. But other people say, no, nothing has changed. The world has become miserable and nothing is changing. Where is this veil? This veil is inside us. Because we wanted to experience, we have created this veil. For some people, this veil has gone. Recently, in the month of May, a lot of people told me personally that they have seen it. Earlier, they were into that group who were saying, oh, how do we know? Now they say, oh, we have also seen it because the veil is breaking. Some
Yeah.
people could see.
Okay. So the first step could be, knowing that there is a shift happening. The second step could be going within and figuring it out yourself, right? Is that what you will advise the listeners? First,
Yes.
knowing, okay, there is a consciousness shift that is taking place. And second, go inside, close your eyes, meditate. Is there any specific technique that you follow, Praveenji?
Yeah. And we also teach people to take reality in their hand.
Yeah.
That gives them realization that this world is projected from inside out. There were many such kind of teachings available. Secret book is very famous. They teach, but there a big part is missing there. They teach how you can create your bangla, how you could create your more money, how you could get your partner. This is not the purpose. Purpose is not to make this matrix stronger or comfortable. The all these teachings, the purpose is to take your reality in your hand. Once you started taking reality in your hand, then you know the world is being projected from inside out. There is no savior. You are that. You are
Mm-hmm.
experiencing. And then this journey become much faster. And then your life become very beautiful. In this stage, when every small situation, for example, someone in our family member, he got hurt or he got diagnosed with a cancer, immediately our whole attention is there because we are part of that situation. We learn to move two steps backward, see the situation as if it is projecting from inside. It is like a movie, and then we are very powerful. Then we could change each and everything. And moreover, as I told, there are all variations of past are available in fourth dimension. In third dimension also, but we are not aware of it. Like a ant is not aware of third dimension. In third dimension, we are not aware of fourth or fifth, but it is there. So if we know that all variation of past and all variation of futures are available in our hand, then we taking control of our reality. Then the journey is very fast.
Praveenji, I'm slightly deviating from the subject, and maybe I might ask a stupid question. Just bear with me for that. Uh, is there is fifth dimension an end of it, or end of that search, or there is, further more dimensions available in the universe?
See, first, there is no stupid question. Only answer could be the and the people believe the source. We are the fragment
Mhm.
of source. As I told, we are the multidimensional being. The
Yeah.
source to create the field, he make 9 layers. So it is commonly believed. So in our scripture also says saptaloka, सात लोक ऊपर सात लोक नीचे.
Mm.
Why
Yeah.
सात लोक why seven layers up and seven layers down? Because we are into the duality. So everything it was having the opposite of that layer also. Why seven? Why not nine? Because we are third dimension, one and second are integrated into one, two, and three become one. So that's why the nine layers, which we say Saptaloka, because we are already into third. In this nine layers, see, people uh, think like there are boundaries. I was born as a baby, then I become young. Now I am getting into the middle age. I will become old. Is there boundary in between, or it is a process from baby you become young, then you come middle age, and you so all these nine layers are like this. These are frequencies. It is a playing field where we play, we experience something which we could not. So after fifth there are different layers, six, seven, eight, nine layers are there, but third is fake and it is very strong wall. So that's why if we are out of this, then we can go depending upon our frequency to any dimensions. If we are this is broken, but it is considered that ninth, there are ninth layer of till the source. You are
Okay.
source,
Okay.
but there are different layers.
This is very important, Praveen ji. And the moment you said, I was like, I had goosebumps, you are the source, right? So this is what we have forgotten. We are the source. Each individual is a source, and we have to, start our journey back to the source. And I hope with this conversation that we are having today, it helps many, and they realize, they are themselves the source. I think in now I would like to touch upon in one of your interviews I happened to listen, and then you mentioned about the double slit experiment and how it relates to the concepts of this 5D dimension or the dimensions that we are talking about. Would you like to talk a little bit more about double slit experiment, Praveen ji, so that it helps our listeners?
Yeah. See, what we are in this our science. Science, the physics only tells about the material thing. Whatever material we are experiencing, they told then an atom there is 99.99 when we put 8 times percentage space. In this space exists everything. That's why it is not real. But in this science, there was a beautiful experiment that happened in 1950s or something. They told this material which we are experiencing is not like it is. It is created out of our consciousness. This experiment tells. So, as we discussed, if we realize that we are creating this world out of our consciousness, then we will not having any interest in this world. Then we will be free because we have done complete experiences from this dimension. So to understand the double slit experiment, I was having some presentation. Let me see if I could find. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, can you? So when
I can see.
they throw atoms, they fire atom, they go through the slits. So they could select any slit. There were two slits. They can go left or right, and wherever they go, they make an impression on the screen. That is, if they were throwing atoms one by one. In this experiment, they started throwing multiple atoms. What happened on the screen? Instead of two, they saw a different pattern like this. Because the behavior of this particle, either it is a particle or it is a wave which was deciding into this double slit, the particle behaved like an energy because energy moves in this wave and they were interfering. That is why this pattern came into that screen. That is double slit experiment, and it makes the scientists were surprised and they wanted to know which slit it is going and how it is going. Then they put a detector. When they put the detector, immediately on the screen this pattern collapsed and there were again two images. Whenever they put detector, there were two. When they remove the detector, it behaves like the energy. It behaves energy particle. It will behave like an energy. And interesting part is they put the detector before the slit. That same behavior, they put detector after the screen, and the same behavior appeared on the screen. That when the consciousness observe, it behaves like a particle. If the consciousness is not there, it behaves like the waves, it behaves like the energy. And that gave the realization the consciousness is necessary to create any reality. That was very important uh, experiment, and it showed this result that our consciousness is required. And it was very beginning experiment. After that, there were many extension of this experiment. It is called delayed choice experiment. So even if
Mm-hmm.
they pass through the slit and the observer were behind the slit, have they moved back to show the behavior? And then what we have discussed earlier about the fourth dimension, where we have all the variations of available to us. Suppose now we believe if I had an accident and my leg is amputated, I will remain on the wheelchair for the whole life. That is one variation of the past. But delayed choice tell us that even it goes back and change the reality. So the past could be
Mm-hmm.
changed. This
Got
is
it.
this. Yes.
So much power that we have, you know. I wish it was taught to all of us as a kid, right? And then the world would have been different had we all knew the power of oneself. Things would have been really, really different. I now have one other question, right? There are many predictions that about this major shift. There, it is said that there is end of world in 2025. So, do you believe? People are also talking about black holes. So, what is it, that one can understand from this prediction? Is it true? Is it related to this 5D consciousness transition, Praveenji?
The world, like the Dr. Neruda interview, we were dominated by the dark. And how
Mm-hmm.
dark works? What is dark? Dark is not having the consciousness. They depend on human because human is having consciousness. To create any reality, we have discussed this experiment. No reality is possible without consciousness. Otherwise, it is just an energy which works like a waves. Unless we
Yeah.
observe, there is no reality. To manipulate our consciousness, the dark has only one instrument. They manipulate us, our mind and our, so that we start thinking into this direction. They could only manipulate us, they cannot create the reality because dark is not having the consciousness. So they manipulate us through prediction, predictive programming, television. What they want, they implant in our mind. And astrology, prediction are part of that. All. One scripture, Bhavish Malika, people believe in India. I also wanted to take this opportunity to tell this. It was written in 15th century. It is 700 years ago. Maybe, I don't say it was wrong. Maybe it was correct. At that time of consciousness, could see this shift. And in this shift, they see very difficult. 700 years ago, the consciousness has changed. Now we are having a very smooth shift. Or you can say it is a mind programming to keep us, that they say only 30 million people will survive this
Yeah.
event, all other will abolish. This is the programming of mind we should understand and change. This is my mission, to awake people, to create the new reality. From this point, we are creating past and future. We could create a beautiful, smooth transit. Why not? Who want this difficult transit? And out of this 800 million people, only 30 million people will survive. What kind of prediction is it? No.
Mm.
And you will see many people who are having much more following. They anyhow want this kind of prediction because human is in a low frequency and they enjoy. You see, the horror movies are very popular. Thriller movies are popular when the kid is kidnapped and mother is suffering because of we are into the tuned into the low frequency in our body. our food is manipulated now. Food is having
Hmm.
heavy metals. Why heavy metals? Heavy metals works like an antenna, and this antenna can be programmed. The technology is so advanced, I don't know whether you have experienced it or not. Your thoughts could be read. You are lucky that you are living in a forest area or with very less influence from the outside world. So maybe you would have not experienced it. But the people have experienced that their thoughts could be read and manipulated. So it is part of the manipulation agenda.
Thanks, Praveenji, to shed light on this. And in fact, this the timing couldn't be more right. Me and Suchak, both of us are planning to go to Mount Kailash. And I require, especially me, require that, positive energy that I can do it because I at high altitude, I am someone who, get some troubles. So I'm glad that I'm doing this recording with you at the right time, and I'm going to have a quite positive experience during the Kailash Mansarovar Yatra. So with this, Praveenji, we are coming to the end of this episode and the last segment or the last question. We are glad that you walked us through uh, the 5D consciousness, helped us understand that we all have the power in ourselves. There is no savior that is going to come to save us. It is oneself, who has the power to create that positivity, to create that positive shift. So, just one last quick question. Any message to the young listeners out there, right? How can one become conscious part of this process? What is that message that you would like to give to the young listeners?
Yeah, I'm happy that you asked for the young generation. I feel they are suffering a lot because the shift is new. Their parents or the generation, they were not aware of it. But the young people, the plan is so perfect. They came with the new energy. So anyhow, they are feeling it. Something is different. But still the peer pressure, the pressure from the parents, and they don't know, they are confused. What to do? They are not interested what is collapsing, but the pressure is there to studies or whatever way the society is going into that direction. So I say, and listen your heart. You are the most beautiful generation. You will see a world free of misery. There will not be any fear, and so you are part of it, you are creating it, your energy is creating it. So I congratulate to be the part of this beautiful journey. For the young generation, I am having a lot of hope. I give you one more example. I told you today that past could be changed. There are experiment, delayed choice experiment, but still there is a lot of resistance from our peer group because we are having conditioning. My daughter, she is 16. She do lucid dreaming. Lucid dreaming is a very important part because here you realize that you are into dream and dream is projecting through you. You could take control of this dream, and she understands me when when I tell all these things in the home. I was sitting and I was just discussing all these things with someone. She was listening. That past could be changed. She asked me how past could be changed, and I told. Now she was having her board exam first time. She was excited. In one subject, she is not interested, that is social studies. History, geography is not interested for her. And six questions were wrong in her examination. Objective type question, that is, if you give the wrong answer, that is wrong. And then she told me, Papa, past could be changed, you told me. Can I change? I said, yeah, why not? And she confirmed me. I am here. She's in India. She confirmed, Papa, I have changed the past. And she passed with 97% marks.
Wow.
People should realize it. These young people, because the question is for young, they are open. They are having less conditioning. They came into the new energy. So I am too much hopeful with the young generation because they could create this shift together. Moreover, all people who are coming on earth after 2012, they are without the baggage of the karma. What is karma? Memories or tendencies which you want to experience into this life. Because of this memory, we are into the loop. We are trying to create the same world which we want to experience. They are coming, the young generation, they are they are not having that much of craving from desires. So they are helping us.
Wow. It was truly magical. It was truly deep. I'm very grateful on behalf of both myself and Suchak for agreeing to do this podcast, Pravinji. And with this, information which will go out soon, we are going to help a lot of individuals out there, to make this conscious shift and experience the power of oneself, and the power of abundance that is, coming soon for all of us. So thank you once again. It was our pleasure to have you on the Awakening Trail.
Thank you very much for spreading the awareness, and that will help. Thank you.
What an enlightening journey that was. From understanding the fundamentals of 5D to exploring the deeper truths about our reality, this conversation with Praveen Bhatia ji has truly expanded our horizons. If this episode sparked curiosity in you, made you question the old and welcome the new, you're already on the right path. Don't forget to follow, share, and subscribe if you found value in today's episode. And most importantly, keep questioning, keep awakening. Until next time, be happy, make everyone around you happy, stay as close to nature as possible, and love everyone. And always remember, beyond the veil, the trail begins. We'll see you all next week in yet another inspiring episode. Until then, take care.